Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV, and this is Tottenham versus Newcastle United pre-match live. And before we get into the show, if you do like what you see, then please do smash that like. It really does help the channel on the search. So please do smash that like. Thank you very much. And also, if you're brand new to the channel, come and smash your subscribe. Come be part of this great community we have here. And that bell notification, that tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. If you want to become a member, it's 99p. Just click the join button. And if you want to make a donation, you can do that in the chat by clicking on the $sign as well. I will have somebody joining me, and that is a Spurs fan's going to join me, Harry Scarf, who I've had on before, the young lad, and he's really well up with his football knowledge as well. So he's going to join me for the pre-match this afternoon because we didn't get around to do a review because we went right. Okay, let's get into some comments first of all. And evening all, says James. Good afternoon, mate. Hope you're well. Yamin, good afternoon. He says Newcastle, a possible starting lineup could be Dubravka, Trippier, Lascelles, Shea, Livermore, Joe Linton, Bruno, Miley, Almiron, Isak, Gordon. Basically the same lineup. Yeah, I think it will be as well, mate. Troll says Longstaff is back from what I've read, but at least we'll have a player that can impact from the bench, be it if Longy or Miley. Yeah, I think if he's back, he starts on the bench. I don't think he comes straight in, to be fair, Trolls. Mad Max says, good afternoon. Hope everyone's feeling well for the win today. Yeah, let's hope we are. Let's hope we get the win. By the way, talking about people winning, Luton Town are currently 1-0 up at half-time against Manchester City at Kenilworth Road. An assist coming from the cross from Andros Townsend, who we know very well. And Adebayor scores the goal. So Man City not playing well at the moment. Results are going for us, so we need to get a win against Spurs today. Holly says Tottenham 1, Newcastle 2 or 2-2. Yeah, absolutely. Hi afternoon, Holly. Hope you're well. Good afternoon, says Julie. Good afternoon to you. West Ham getting battered and Luton 1 up against City. Yeah. Also read, your comment's gone off. Also read that the girlfriend of Karius hopes he gets a move to Italy and see we are linked with Hugo Lloris. Rather have to hear, to be honest. Yeah, there's going to be all these rumours going around, but there again, it depends what's happening on that situation. But we will keep an eye on that. We shouldn't have to hear, says Julie. Absolutely, Julie. We should have. De Gea got Golden Glove last year, and you look at the way Man United are playing at the moment, and Onana, he's up and down as a goalkeeper. He can pull off the most incredible save that you think, how's he possibly pulled that save off? But then he'll make an absolute howler and just gift the opposition goals. So, to be honest with you, I think Man U wasted £55 million on him, if I'm honest. But, Inter Milan don't care because they're laughing all the way at the bank, aren't they? So, yeah, absolutely. Ramsdale would be too expensive. Yeah, he would be. Absolutely. And do you think Arsenal would sell to us? I doubt it because they'll see us as a rival now. So there's no way Arsenal's going to sell Ramsdale to us. Hi, Tony and all in chat. Good afternoon, mate. Hope you're well. Jack from Toon TV. Hope you're doing well, Tony. Managed to get my channel back. Excellent, mate. So you've got your proper channel back. Excellent. Well done to YouTube. Getting that sorted eventually. Absolutely disgusting that there's people out there who hack it. The second half's about to begin at Kenilworth Road, where Luton are currently leading the champions and the champions of Europe 1-0. Afternoon, Tony, says Bia. Good afternoon to you. There's a reason as well, says Jules. Good afternoon, Tony and all in chat. Good afternoon to you as well. I've got Harry in now, so I'm going to bring Harry on. And Julie says, we all know Sharon about half an hour. Yeah, absolutely, we will do. 3:30 when the team news comes out. Hi to you, Gary, as well, mate. Here is Harry now. Good afternoon,
right?
Harry. How are you? Yeah, you?
Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I'm just going through some comments, mate, and then we'll have a chat about the game.
No worries at all.
Trippier will be on fire today. I know he will please our leader, his choice. Do you know what? Look, the other night, I screamed at the TV. Anyhow, after he made the first error, get Trippier off now. Get him off. Get Hall on. Put Hall to left back. Put Tino to right back immediately. And that didn't happen. Look, I know there's a lot of fans are concerned about the Lewis Hall situation. Why is he not playing? Where's the game time for him? What, And you've got to look at it. There's a few things could happen. One, is Eddie Howe seen enough and thinking, I don't think he's going to do very well for us? And is there an obligation in that loan where if he plays a certain amount of games or minutes, once you hit that threshold, you've then got to buy him? So is Eddie deliberately not playing him so that he doesn't have to activate that clause in the loan agreement? Which is a shame, really, because if the lad's not going to do well for us, then, surely we should be able to send him back in January. But, what I've seen of Lewis Hall, he had a great game against Man United at Old Trafford. Yes, he had a bit of the 45 minutes wasn't too great against Dortmund away, but you're at that yellow wall. It's a hard stadium to go to. He picked up a booking. I don't think the lad's been too bad. But again, at the end of the day, it's what Eddie Howe sees. And if Eddie Howe's seeing something and he's thinking he's not sure about Lewis Hall, then that's fair enough. But, I'd rather the lad went back to Chelsea if that's the case, rather than him sitting here for the season and not really getting any game time. But, we don't know. But you could have even brought Dummett on as well and put him at left back. So, we'll wait and see on that one. Couple of stories coming around as well at the moment is the rumour yesterday, and it was broken by the Shields Gazette, that Newcastle have told Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest that if you want Jacob Murphy, you have to pay between 20 and 25 million pounds for Murphy. Technically, I don't think we'll sell him in January. We shouldn't do unless we've got a replacement coming in. We are linked with the Juventus winger who's on loan at an Italian club, Frosinone or whatever you call it, in the name of Mattia Sule. He's worth about 25 million euros. So if we got money for Murphy and he came in, he's only 20, he's younger. So I can see that one maybe, but hopefully we keep Murphy till the end of the season, and maybe in the summer it would be a good move for him in the summer, but not in January. Not with the injuries that we've had in as well. And the De Gea rumours have been around as well. De Gea's open to the fact of coming to Newcastle as well. The reason he didn't sign for Saudi, his wife didn't want to move that far away. So, who knows? He may be here. He's a free agent. We can sign him now and he can start in January, but January window's not far away anyway. Also, another rumour going around that we'll be hoping to sell Emil Kraft in January. The club will try and sell him so they can get some money rather than losing him for free in the summer. Providing we get a replacement for him. So again, there's another one, Emil Kraft as well. So, let's see what happens. It's all rumours at the moment, but we'll just wait and see. BS says, Kenny, it's a hard place to go. Hope they stay up. Kendall, yeah, Luton is a hard place to go to. Yeah, definitely. Rolly says, hi, Tony. Let's get a morale boost and win today. Let's hope so, Rolly. Let's hope so, mate. I fear we might lose today, but then again, you never know. Well, no, you don't. That's the thing. I mean, Spurs haven't been great of late either. Carrie's girlfriend works for Italian TV. Yes, she does. And she's pregnant, I believe, as well. Wayne says 3-1 to the Toon. Isak for the first goal. Wouldn't bet against it. Let's have a spare thought for Man U. Not? Yeah, I mean, look, they got thumped off Bournemouth. They were looking to be really, because you couldn't tell if that hit his hand or not, and that was harshly taken away. Taken away from him as well. Mike Mannion has been linked with us and Man U, 60 million. Yeah, he's a very good goalkeeper. We'll see what he's like on Wednesday night when he's at St James's Park. See how he handles the pressure. Afternoon, Tony says, Ian, good afternoon to you. Very annoyed about Everton, but we have to win tonight. I'm going 2-0. Yeah, absolutely. How can manager of the month get? How can a manager get manager of the month whilst half the fan base are crying out for his head? You know what it is, Mad Mag? I don't know how Ten Hag got manager of the month. I mean, look, Maguire got player of the month, for God's sake. That's bad enough, but Ten Hag is not a great manager. Let's be honest. I mean, we beat them 1-0. Bournemouth took them apart 3-0. Like I say, it should have been 4-0. But, that's their fan base. That's what they like. And, let them cry. Let them cry, because that's what they're doing all the time.
Yeah.
They'll get walloped off Bayern in the midweek because Bayern are hurt after getting beat 5-1 off Eintracht Frankfurt. So, Bayern will be going there to give Man U another hammering as well. I read Tony and Trolls and just munching on a Greg's corned beef pasty now. We all need a 3 points, says Mighty Mag. Let's hope so, mate. Luton have played some football, been very unlucky. Yeah, I mean, look, that all they're talking about on Sky is, Man City's without Erling Haaland. I'm sorry, one player does not make a team, They've got other players in there that can score goals. So, but it's the same when we've played Man United and we've beat them. All they talk about is how much Man United's in a crisis. They don't talk about the fact that we've beat them and played very well to beat them, So it's not great at all, is it? So Rolly says, "Hi, Harry. Good to see you again. I wish you no luck in today's game, Harry, the lads."
Nice to see you.
I mean, Harry, talking about your team, Spurs, I mean, look, you had a great start to the season. You've had a cracking start. James Maddison's been playing so well for you. He's got an injury. He's out of the new year. Since he's gone off, I think Spurs have gone off the boil massively. And you just seem to be struggling now. Even West Ham, beating you the other night 2-1. And what's going wrong? Is it going back to the Spurs of old again?
Well, it feels like it's frustrating. I'm going to blame the manager of the month curse again. It seems like it's happened to Ten Hag as well. It's always the way. But no, we started the season really, really well, and then Chelsea, it all went wrong when we lost 4-1. 2 players sent off. Van der Ven and Maddison injured. It was an absolute disaster. So it just pretty much all went wrong. And from then, it's been very, very difficult for us. I think we've done a fantastic point against City, but really poor against Wolves, really poor against West Ham. Just isn't acceptable. So there's 5 games now, without a win. That's poor. There's 4 losses and 1 draw in there. The draw against Manchester City dropped 16 points as well from winning positions. But all those last 5 games, we've gone 1-0 up and come away with only a point out of those 5 as well. The rest of it come away with nothing. So it's really poor as far as I'm concerned. We need to get back on track, and not being funny, but today is the day to do it, because I think we'll be fighting with Newcastle come the end of the season, whether it's for top 4, top 6. I still believe we're in and around that top 4, 5. So, we can't afford to keep dropping points, because we're going to slip down here, because you've got Maddison probably coming back around mid-February, Ben scores mid-February, Van der Ven's January. So until then, we're not going to do very well. And I'm going to make a bold statement here. I don't think we're going to win until the new year. So I think we're in trouble.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's going to be a tough game either way for both sides today. But after us losing 3-0 to Everton, I think we're going to come out fighting today. And the team's probably not trained, to be fair. And look, people can say, we're making excuses because of injuries. We're not making excuses. We've probably got the worst injury hit squad in the Premier League at this moment in time. How many teams have you ever seen that's had 2 players with dislocated shoulders in the same season? It's just been wretched. It's just been wretched. I mean, Nick Pope, it was just unfortunate for him to get that injury. The same with Jacob Murphy. And we've just had a wretched run of injuries. Let's hope we start getting some of these players back, hopefully by the end of December and beginning of January.
Tony, sorry to interrupt. Do you think any of the players will make the bench today? Because I've heard Longstaff could be one, Wilson could be one, etc. Do you reckon that any of them will make the bench?
I've heard Longstaff. I've also heard Harvey Barnes is close as well. So I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting when the team news comes out at 3:30 to see who's actually on that bench today.
Yeah, I'm very interested to know.
I think Dubravka will keep his place in goal. You can't really blame him for the goals because 2 of them were caused by defensive errors. Okay, maybe for the 3rd goal, Dubravka probably could have done better at his near post and stopping Beto scoring. But, we've got to give him credit. He hasn't played and he's been he's been sitting there waiting to play. So,
And
Yeah, I
Callum
mean,
Wilson,
we'll
we
see
know
what
Callum
happens.
Wilson loves the goal against Tottenham. I think I saw him on Twitter. I think it was Twitter earlier. I think I saw him pictured at the stadium. I don't know. Someone could have edited it, but it looked like he was here. So I think he'd definitely be in the squad.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
we'll see when
by
the
the way,
team. I
Tony,
can't wait to see.
Everton are taking the lead against Chelsea.
Have they? God,
Yeah, I know. Oh dear.
Chelsea's just a poor side, aren't they? Let's be honest.
That's all off at Chelsea. Oh dear.
Alan says, afternoon, Tony and guest. Tough game today, 1-1. And he says AC Milan midweek just doesn't stop. It doesn't. Yeah, you know, I mean, look, the thing is, we're not like some of these teams, like the Ten Hag, who would make excuses. You know,
Yeah.
us and Tottenham both played Thursday, so we're playing again today. You know, unlike Ten Hag last Saturday when we played Man United, and he said, "Oh, well, Newcastle played Saturday, we played Sunday, then they played Tuesday, we played Wednesday." Sorry, don't make excuses. Don't make excuses. You know, um, we're doing very well. Our injury hit squad, for them lads to keep playing the way they are, fatigue was going to catch up with them, and that's unfortunately what happened on Thursday. Yes, we've got to look forward to the fact Amazon Prime deal's finished now with the Premier League after Boxing Day. So in some ways, it's a pleasure because although that coverage has been great, but we'll not have them stupid midweek games now. So, you know, that's going to be a blessing that way, but
Yeah.
we're just got to wait and see.
Can I
Wayne
just say,
says,
Tony, what I like
yeah,
about Eddie Howe and Postecoglou, right, is you've got all these injuries, in particular Newcastle, right? They've affected both teams and brought their season down compared to the start, right? Neither of them blame the injury suspensions. You know, they can both take responsibility. They're both looking to improve the team's performance, etc. It was not being funny. You have someone like Arteta. You mentioned Ten Hag's another one. They throw their toys out the pram. Pep would be the same. It's always you blame the injury. De Zerbi with Brighton as well. He hasn't stopped moaning about the players he's got out. Eddie Howe's kept quiet, really, really respectful, which is for me the way to handle it. So that just shows for me the classy managers. You know, like you say, Eddie Howe, Postecoglou, they can cope with it and they take responsibility. So it's just a breath of fresh air, really.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, one of my viewers in the chat, Ian, Newcastle fan, and he follows Celtic as well. You know, and obviously he's not surprised by what Postecoglou's done for Tottenham Hotspur this season, because obviously Ian watches Celtic as well. So you know he knows what Postecoglou's like more than anybody else does. You know he has done well. You know, can't take that away from him. You know, there he is in the chat. Afternoon, Tony. Good afternoon, Ian. But yeah, Postecoglou he's done a good job at Spurs. I mean, look, nobody expected to see, you know, nobody expected to see Tottenham straight away at the top of the league at the start of the season. You know, Biaz asking, is Son out?
See, he came off in our last game against West Ham, limping. He's done it before and kind of worried us. He said he hopes he's going to be okay. I personally think that he'll make the team, but I think it'll be very close. It's either, Tony, it's a case of he plays or he's out. Son doesn't do the bench, not being funny. So for him, he's got to be 100% to be there. So if he's not there, then I don't know what we do. But the rumours are that Son is available.
Yeah. Callum Wilson's at the ground. So Sean Longstaff. So it looks like they're going to be on the bench. It's a shame Lloris isn't in goal because he'd be complaining if Wilson scores again like he tried to last season, even though it was his own cock-up that caused the goal. Hugo Lloris, he tried to complain that it was a foul and everything. It was never a foul.
No, he was just
You're just a poor goalkeeper. But, I mean, Harry, you're a Spurs fan, so what I want to ask you is, because obviously then you've got no association to that club. Now then, one debate, if you were England manager, or you could speak to the England manager and he said to you, who's the best left winger in the Premier League to play in the Euros next season, and he says you've got two choices. You've got Marcus Rashford, you got Anthony Gordon. Who are you going for to go to the Euros?
For
And
me,
you've only
it's
got
very,
one
very
place.
simple. Who's in form at the moment? One player is moaning and struggling left, right, and centre, and one player is putting in good performance even when his team gets beat at the likes of Goodison Park. It's Anthony Gordon at the moment. See, the England team for me should be based on form, but the current England team under Southgate is based on favourites and who's actually done okay for him, right? I think goalkeeper situation for me it's still Pickford, but in terms of like you mentioned the left wing situation, it's Gordon over Rashford at the moment. You know he's doing exactly thank you. Gordon's doing very well at the moment. He's got to be in there and he's got to be getting a lot of minutes as well. So it's quite a simple decision for me.
Yeah.
And also, sorry, before I
Uh,
forget as well, the likes of Mount, I really wouldn't take them. He's done nothing for United, done nothing for a large while under Chelsea. You can get players in there, whether you want to take youth, etc. But for me, Mount is a waste of a place as well as Rashford.
it's now 1-1 at Kenilworth Road. Bernardo Silva's just scored for Manchester City.
Oh,
So it's now 1-1 at Kenilworth Road.
oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame. Do you know who got the assist?
Trying to work out who that is. No, just it was Rodri was fouled in the area and it came back out to Bernardo Silva who
Right.
curled it past the goalkeeper.
Oh, and Fulham have gone
Um,
4-0 up against West Ham. Wow.
have they?
Wow. It makes our result look awful.
I mean, obviously, if Son's not playing, like Julie's just said in the chat, it'll be Richarlison. I mean, do you
I'll be
rate
surprised
Richarlison?
if he doesn't play because he's played through a broken arm, problems before. So I think he'd be okay personally.
Do you rate Richarlison?
Well, at the end of the day, right, he was brought in to score goals, and he's simply not doing that. I've defended him a lot, but it gets to a point where he's here to score goals. Oh, I love it. West Ham get bad everywhere they go. Absolutely love it. Um, but no, he puts in the effort which Ange wants. He's a real team player, but at the end of the day, he isn't scoring goals, and he gets sitters like the other day against West Ham. If anyone saw that, he's got to score. He comes on. That's what he's done for. I'd be disappointed if I missed that. So as far as I'm concerned, he needs until the end of the season, but he needs to get on with it. He needs to start scoring goals. I think it'll be probably both Richarlison and Son today. I think it'll be something different. It'll be like Richarlison, Johnson, and Son. I reckon will be the front three. And Kulusevski may drop deeper or maybe on the bench come off, but I guess we'll see. Richarlison needs to step it up.
Yeah. Speaking of Brendan Johnson, what you made of him so far?
I think he's been good, but I think he's been excellent. But you go and see him like against West Ham, and he was probably one of the worst players on the pitch. So, but I think there's potential there. There's no doubt he's not worth what we paid for 60 million. For me, he's a 20, 25 million player, but it's great to have him here. He can play multiple positions. I think he's a great addition to this squad. It's a bit worrying when you work out the cost of Johnson and Richarlison is over the Harry Kane price, but we've got them now. We can't change that. I think Johnson is a good addition, but still, I think recruitment needs to be done in January around his position. For me,
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Speaking about Harry Kane, I mean, obviously, as a Spurs fan, you're probably disappointed that he went in the summer.
Yeah.
It's actually 2-1 to City now. Jack Grealish has just scored.
Oh my
They
God.
seem to have stepped it up
No.
now, City. So, I mean, Harry Kane went, but look, he's having a great time in Europe at the moment for Bayern Munich. Are you surprised how well he's done in the Bundesliga?
No, not whatsoever. I think it'll be funny how Spurs fans have been saying to football fans to reason, this is what he's capable of. This is what he can do. And it feels like people haven't listened and gone, he's hit a new level of Bayern. No, this is the Harry Kane we've been seeing. He's just doing it now on that global stage. And in a way, I hope he does well because he deserves it. Very loyal to the club. However, at the same time, it'd be nice if we won a trophy before him, but I can't see it happening. But Kane is ripping it up at Bayern Munich, to be honest with you, I all thought we would. So credit to him, he's doing an excellent job, and I think that's why Bayern will win the Champions League this year.
Yeah. He's really doing well for them, isn't he? And not just obviously goals, but assists as well. And He scored that beauty Beckham-esque shot, didn't he, from inside the half? And,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. He's,
bit
that's
of
what he's capable of. He done it for Spurs in pre-season. He's just from the halfway line. He just has that. It's amazing.
Gary says, I hope Eddie kicked them up the backside after the Everton game, Tony, mate. Well, Eddie did see, he just told him, obviously he wasn't happy with the game, and obviously told him a few truths at the end of the game. So, yeah, you'll probably see a different Newcastle come out this afternoon. But even if we got Wilson, Longstaff, and even if we have got Harvey Barnes on the bench, then we can say, look, there's options there to come off and give
I
lads
do
a
think
rest.
that the couple of players will make the bench. I don't think there'll be any in the lineup personally.
No, I don't think they'll start.
Very, very risky. You don't want them out for longer.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, as I say, looking from afar as a Spurs fan,
Yeah.
what's your thoughts on this guy, 17-year-old Lewis Miley? What have you made of him?
Absolutely excellent. I'm glad you brought him up. He still managed to look good against Everton, even though that was not a good display. And in the end, it was a 3-0 game. When I say 3-0 Everton, yeah, it's not a 3-0 game, but you were beat by Everton at the end of the day. He still looked good. He's been a fantastic start. Not being funny, but if Mount's getting in, then Lewis Miley should be getting in as far as I'm concerned. He's 10 times the player I think Mount will ever be. And that is a compliment to him. I think he's excellent. That's everything about him. And that Newcastle midfield is so strong anyway with the dynamic, the ability of Joelinton, Guimaraes. He does his. I don't need to say anything about Guimaraes. He does his talking on the pitch. Longstaff when he's available, excellent. Puts the hard work in. Eddie Howe gets the best out of him. He doesn't play like a 17-year-old. He plays at someone with bags of experience, and I think he can go places. Whether that's with Newcastle or not, I don't know. But this guy will be winning trophies for sure. And if Newcastle owners stick to their promise, they want to win the league title by so many years, etc. Then you need players like this, real talent, and Newcastle can hope they can keep producing talent like this. Real good player.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Corvo says, Lewis Miley _ sheet today, I can feel it. I'm down to see what he does when he scores his first goal because, yeah. Troll says, to be fair, it was Tripp's fault we lost, but he is ready. He won't make those mistakes again. No, I think it was just tiredness. And as I said, Eddie Howe should have brought him off after the first mistake. I think realistically, he should have came off after the first error. Even if we brought Hall on or Dummett, whoever we brought on, at least, or even bring Kraft on. I know Kraft came on for Lascelles because he limped off, but I think Lascelles should be okay this afternoon. Corvo says, 17 years old, the lad plays like he's been in the league for years. He does, absolutely.
Wow.
And Alan says, Everton game changed on Trippier's mistake, 0-0 to later stages of the game, though they did deserve the win. Yeah, they did. I mean, look, Everton put the hard yards in more than us, but, again, if we had a fully fit squad, Everton don't win that game. We win that game hands down all day long. We just didn't have the relevant strength on the bench to bring off change the game.
Was it also? I think there's a bit of fatigue and tiredness in there, which you expect. The players have done a lot, put a lot of effort in because of injuries. So it's going to come at some point. I think, some of the stick that Trippier got, I think is unacceptable. I think he's been a really key part, historic part of last season. He's an excellent player for me. Still, probably the best, if not one of the best signings for you. He just had a bad game, which I think everyone's entitled to. Again, perhaps it was the reason he lost, but against 2 mistakes, you can see 3 goals. So it depends, but he'd certainly be up for this game. And for his sake, it'd be, he'd be hoping he can put it right today.
Yeah, I mean, look, a Newcastle fan on Twitter telling that, telling Trippier to go back to Madrid and everything. And I'm like, why? There is a VAR check for a possible red card for Luton here on Phil Foden. It does look a little bit, but I've seen worse and them getting away with it. So I can't see that being a red card, but you never know. With these VAR officials. I mean, look, we've had bad VAR calls. I mean, against PSG, we shouldn't have had that penalty given against us. Anyway, our starting line lineup is in. So here we go. In goal, Martin Dubravka, Kieran Trippier, Jamal Lascelles, Fabian Schär, Tino Livramento, Bruno, Lewis Miley, Joe Linton, Almiron, Gordon, Isak. So the same team that started against Everton. On the bench, Karius, Gillespie, Dummett, Callum Wilson, Matt Ritchie, Emil Kraft, Lewis Hall, Sean Longstaff, and Alex Murphy. So that is the bench. So not a bad side, you know, for today's game, and I'm quite happy with that. I know it's the same lineup, but at least we've got players on the bench who can come off and potentially change the game as well.
Yeah.
So that isn't bad at all. At least we've got Longstaff there who can come on and play some minutes. Wilson can come on and play some minutes also as well. So that's excellent news as well. And the Tottenham lineup as well. They go with Vicario in goal, Pedro Porro, Romero, Davies, Udogi, Bissouma, Sarr, Kulusevski, Johnson, Son the captain, and Richarlison. On the bench, Forster, Royale, Dorrington, Skip, Højbjerg, Lo Celso, Donnelly, Bryan, and Veliz. So that's Tottenham Hotspur's lineup as well. I mean, are you happy with that lineup, Harry?
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm surprised that the Celso's missed out because he's been really good recently, but he's played a lot of minutes, so we'll have to see. But he's definitely a bright spark, and unlucky to miss out. However, looks like Kulusevski is going to drop back into that midfield three, which Ange's now recognised, which is great because Kulusevski is awful, and I mean awful, on that wing. So it's great to see him hopefully now in that midfield three where he can produce that number 10 role when Maddison isn't here. I think the bench is extremely poor, but got players out, so is Newcastle. So, we both accept that. I think it's still two good start 11s.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be an interesting game, that's for sure. I'll just pop the Tottenham lineup there as well. There you go. There's a Tottenham lineup.
So Son did make it in the. I thought he would.
Yeah. That VAR check was cleared. No red card.
Do you reckon Luton can still get something out of it, Tony, or is it too late?
Well, they could still get something out of it. I mean, they're still going for it. They're not holding back.
They put a lot of effort in this game, a lot of effort into the Arsenal game, and it could be 0 points.
Yeah. But then, people probably don't expect them to beat the likes of City, but it'd be harsh if they didn't get a draw out of this game,
Yeah,
but
it will be.
Anyway, Gary says our lads are knackered. They finished after an hour. I feel so sorry for them. Must be killing them inside. Well, at least we're getting players back now, which is brilliant. Trippier don't deserve any stick, says Alan. Everyone has a bad game now and again. He's been the best signing so far. Absolutely, he has been. And who's the first player there when we have new signings coming in? Kieran Trippier. He's always there. Yes, I saw that yesterday as well. But yeah, I saw he didn't start for Milan yesterday. Rafael Leao, I think he's one hell of a player. And yes, he is. He doesn't look like he'll be fit for Saturday either. For Wednesday either. So yeah, good news for us that he's going to be out. I don't think Milan travel that well, in all honesty, in the Champions League. And I think if we beat them, I know some people have said I'd rather we went out the Champions League, but look, let's be honest. If we beat Milan and PSG do not beat Dortmund, which will be very hard because Dortmund have got a long unbeaten record, and Dortmund are not going to give up. One, there's two factors in this. The first one is their unbeaten record. They want to keep that home record going for as long as they can. And secondly, Dortmund want to finish top of that group as well. So they are not going to relinquish top just to let PSG go through. So if PSG don't win, we go through. And I think that'll be great if we go through because it'll help our FFP as well, because you get more money the further you go in the Champions League. So it'll be great for our FFP if we get through the next round of the Champions League. If we end up not qualifying for the next round, at least we drop into the Europa League and we could have a good chance of winning that.
There you go.
So that'll be interesting. Pleased with the bench, says Alan as well. Yeah. Gary says, Wilson Longstaff on the bench. I'm filling up with emotion. Corvo says, Johnson and Kulo going to be a handful. Yeah. Ian says he would have rested Trippier. Sai says, why doesn't Lewis Hall start the game? Surely Trippier needs a rest. You could play Livermore at right back and play Hall at left back. Do you think that Howe has issues? This is what I'm saying, Sai. I don't know. There's a lot of people are saying the same. Is there certain... I know it says an obligation to buy, but that obligation might only be activated when you hit a certain amount of minutes or games in a contract.
Often
If you go back to...
obligation, often it's, it's how many minutes I get. It's probably that.
Yeah. If you go back to Forest when they played Chris Wood, they had to end up signing him. So, he played 3 games and he had to sign. Maybe it's just so many games, and maybe, I don't know, does Eddie Howe not rate Hall and thinking, actually, he's not what I want and I want somebody better? Who knows? For me, I mean, look, Livermore's playing well at left back at the moment. I think even when Dan Burn comes back in February, Dan Burn's going to find it very hard to get back in that team. England are struggling at the moment for left backs. I think Livermore should be in the next squad for England because they'll have that versatility. They can play right back and left back as well. So we'll see, but I'm not sure what's happening with Hall, in all honesty. Coffee says, hi, Tony, Harry and all. Hi to you, Coffee. If we are going to be in Europe, it may well be the Champions League, says Pia. Yeah, well, like I say, it helps us on FFP as well. Botman and Bonds can't be too far away. They shouldn't be, no, definitely not. Rowley says, good to see Wilson and Longstaff on the bench. Yeah, absolutely. I would love to win the Europa League, and it's a Scouse as we slap in the final in Dublin. That would be fantastic. Plus, that gets you back in the Champions League as well if you win that. But I think if we do make it through the next round of the Champions League, I think PSG will be the favourites to win the Europa League. But they're not a team to be fearful of, PSG, because over the 2 games we beat them 5-2.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. And you were robbed with that penalty decision towards the end as well. So
yeah, I mean, what did you think of that penalty decision? I mean, do you think the referee caved in? VAR should never have sent him to the screen in the first place.
No, it's atrocious. VAR is not serving its purpose for me. I just don't get it. It's based on someone's opinion, and then 9 times out of 10, that opinion's incorrect. It's brought in for clear and obvious errors and isn't being used in that way. Then, first game of the season, there's so many clear and obvious errors. For example, first game of the season, Man United and Wolves, Onana as basically assaults 2 Wolves players in the box, isn't given a penalty. Surely that's clear and obvious mistakes. If VAR just isn't serving its purpose, now to improve it for me, 1, you've got to scrap it. If you're going to keep VAR, mic referees up, release the footage and the audio after every match, give fans in the stadium a better idea as well what is happening. Players as well should be in there helping out as well as referees in the VAR Stockley Park, but it needs to be based on facts. But at the moment, it's based on someone's opinion, and for me, no, it's just not right. That I hate to use the word corrupt. When you see things like that, and PSG giving a penalty for that, which isn't handball, hands by his side, it does make you question it. Extremely poor decision that cost Newcastle 2 points, which could be them in or out of the Champions League. Is this a big decision for money wise for the fans? It's massive.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but the thing is, though, the VAR know the rules that UEFA set out, that if it comes off the body first and hits the hand, it's not handball. That referee did not do that. And obviously, he was dropped fairly quickly by UEFA as well. So he was meant to be refereeing in the Real Sociedad game, and he got dropped from that game immediately. So it shows you how quick UEFA...
Dropping referees in the Premier League Championship. UEFA are doing it, FA are doing it. It doesn't change anything because that same referee comes back next year and does the same thing. It's get rid of them altogether, or you work with them and try to improve their game. But for me, all this stupid idea about sin bins. Give more power again to the on-field referees. Stop trying to control the game and take the fun away from fans. Because I don't know about you, Tony, but why do we celebrate a goal anymore? Because 8, 9 times out of 10, well, 10 times out of 10, VAR look at it and they're looking to disallow it. And clear and obvious things that are rightfully given or rightfully overturned, VAR are still trying to look at how to get involved in something that's clear and obvious. So it needs to be scrapped for me, or major changes are needed, which we won't get. But what they do instead, Tony, is they change the handball rule, they change the offside rule, get referees more confused, get fans more confused. There'd be no communication. For me, I still think they had the best interest of the game. I was behind the idea, but now, no, it's been served wrong. The promises that were going to be delivered on VAR have not been delivered. It's backfired massively, and people knew this. Some people knew it was happening, so credit to them for calling it out. But it's disgraceful.
Yeah, I mean, the referee in that game was probably, well, it's supposed to be one of the best referees in world football. He refereed the World Cup final and the Champions League final. And he shouldn't be getting stuff like that wrong. He should have looked at that screen and said to VAR, sorry, no, I don't agree with you. I'm standing by my decision. It's not a penalty. And I think they just caved in because of it being PSG and the players, the way they were going on all game. And I think justice would have been served if Mbappe missed that penalty as well. But anyway, yeah. Ronald says, apparently some of our supporters are struggling to get there due to the greedy train drivers being on strike. I believe, Ronald, there's some sort of line failure. Overhead cables have come down apparently at Grantham. So that's what I've heard. So I don't know if that's what's going on. But that's what I've seen being banded about. It's not a strike. It's apparently the train lines, the overhead cables are down at Grantham. So let's hope they get there somehow. But Corvo says VAR still using Windows XP. Splat says, afternoon, Tony and guys. Sorry I'm late, just finished work. No worries, mate. Well, there's a lineup there. Wilson and Longstaff back on the bench as well, which is great news for us. But yeah, let's hope today we don't have any VAR issues or whatever, and
let's hope not.
The game can just go through. I mean, look, I don't mind VAR when it gets things right. You go back to our game against Arsenal when Arteta decided to have a bit of a rant after the game now. But you look at that decision. That decision took 4 minutes. But when you look at it, they looked at every angle first and they checked everything. And they allowed the goal because they knew there was nothing that was against that goal being ruled out. And I don't mind that. If they're taking 4 or 5 minutes to check something and come to the right decision, then I haven't got a problem with that. It's when they're looking at it for about 30 seconds to a minute and then they're going, all right, okay, no goal or whatever. And then you look at it properly and you think, well, hang on, why have they disallowed that? So if they take a bit longer and come to the right decision, I don't have a problem with that at all, because you can always add those minutes on as well, Harry.
Yeah, exactly that. Spot on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's still losing 2-1 at the moment, but they're on the attack. City's got the ball back now anyway.
All the scores are the same as well. Fulham 4-0 up against West Ham, and Everton still 1-0 over Chelsea. Interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of surprise results, this week, double game week as well. There's a lot of surprises in there.
Yeah, there is. There's going to be a lot of it, isn't there? I mean, people are rotating. I mean, look, Liverpool were close to losing yesterday against Palace away, weren't they? So
very close.
Yeah. Let's look at the lineup of officials for today's game as well. So Chris Kavanagh is the man in the middle. He's assisted by Simon Bennett and Dan Robathan. The fourth official is Thomas Bramall, which actually Jack, who's Toon TV, Thomas Bramall used to be his maths teacher. VAR is Peter Banks, and the assistant VAR is Harry Leonard. So Chris Kavanagh is the man in the middle for us today. Let's hope he gets things right today, that's for sure. They should build some kind of high-speed train to connect north with London. Yeah, absolutely. Anthony Ross says, afternoon, Tony. Good afternoon to you, mate. Hope you're well. I think it's closer to Windows 1. Wayne says he's the best ref in the world in my eyes. That decision at the end was only one which he made bad. I thought you had a great game up until then, but I just thought you've let yourself down. He shouldn't have caved in. He should have just said, no, I'm not listening to you. I'm going to make my decision. I'm based on that. It clearly comes off Livermento's tummy and it hits his arm. So, at the end of the day, should never have stood that penalty. Pamelarian Escale, good afternoon to you. He says hi. Hi to you as well, mate. If you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe and also please give it a like as well. If you haven't yet smashed that like, please do give it a like. It only takes a couple of seconds, keeps it towards the top of the search, and it means new viewers can find the channel as well. So that'd be great if you can smash a like, and if you're new, smash that subscribe as well. Thank you very much. Wayne says the VAR in that game got the sack not long after, the next morning. Fans at charter flight and land at Bruce Grove Airport. Will be a tough game today. Yeah, it will be, absolutely. Roy Hodgson was rightly annoyed yesterday. Just like Michael Jackson said, we spend too much time talking about the man in the middle and asking him to change his ways. I like that one. Well done, well done. Getting the Michael Jackson song in there. Gary says, does Harry think their fitness will give them the edge today? So will Tottenham have the edge?
Really. I think obviously Newcastle, the players played a lot of minutes. I don't think we're that far off that. Newcastle got their injury problem slightly earlier, both facing a major injury crisis. We were losing some of our best players. It's pretty much Newcastle's B team versus Tottenham's B team, let's face it. So I don't think it'll have a massive impact at all, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, what's your score prediction for today, Harry?
Yeah, I've got to be honest, it's been difficult, and I don't think that we will do that well. I think that midfield is potentially exposed. Great to have Saar back in that midfield. I'm going to be a really, really tight game. I'm going to make that clear. I'm going to go with 3-2 Newcastle. I think you just have the edge. But I think it'll be a really interesting game. So 3-2 Newcastle for me.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about Saar. I mean, look, he's done well to come back because when you played against us at St James's Park and we beat you, obviously that day, 6-1, Stellini, could have ruined that kid's career because we just dragged him off. And the lad looked upset when he come off. And I suddenly thought, is that lad's career going to just nosedive now because of what Stellini's done to him,
Back, yeah.
Because sometimes that can have the adverse effect and some players can go on a different trajectory. But luckily enough, there's a manager come in and he's got faith in him and, he's playing well. But, he could have ruined that lad's career, definitely.
Yeah, glad it didn't happen.
Yeah. My prediction today, I think we'll get back to winning ways because we'll have something to prove. We'll go out there and prove that that Everton game was a blip, and we're going to make sure we don't have another one. Knowing that results have gone for us as well. I think it'll be a tight game, and I'm going to go 2-1 Newcastle with Anthony Gordon and Isak getting the goals for us.
Okay.
That's how I see it going anyway.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think he's Newcastle. I think I fancy you to come back after Everton defeat, come back with a strong performance. Willing to prove there's players out there, willing to prove to Eddie Howe that was just a blip. So and to the fans, make a long journey as well. So I think Newcastle will get a good result. I mean, he did last season.
Yeah. Julie saying, will today be a thriller or is it going to be bad? The Michael Jackson theme. And then somebody says, no, it'll be a smooth criminal. That'll be the referee, won't it? Anthony says, nice to acknowledge young lad on the channel.
Anthony, could I guess how old I am? I'm not going to tell you. I think Tony knows, but we come back to that later. Guess how old I am. I want to see who gets this right. I'm interested.
I keep getting 4-0 to Spurs in my head, says Gary.
I'll take that.
Julie says, reverse that one.
Oh, no. Probably more realistic.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. That was a handball by City there. They've got Luton's now got a free kick.
Barkley still on?
The area. Barkley's over it, yeah. So's Doughty as well. So I don't know who's going to take this. Um, yeah, so if you can guess Harry's age, get it in the chat and have a guess how old he is.
5-0 Fulham.
5-0.
Wow. They have proper.
Toon says Leon. Excellent, mate. If you like what you see like that, smash that like and that
Nobody's
subscribe
got
as
it
well.
right yet. No, nobody's got it right yet.
Harry, okay? You're going to be hit by a golden hat
I'm
trick.
preparing myself. No, nobody's still got it right yet.
26 says Trolls.
Long way away. Someone's
Mad
got
Max
it right.
says 15.
Someone's got it right so far. No.
19 says Anthony. Julie says 17. Bia says 15. Mad Max says 14. Bia
Mad
says
Max is spot
16.
on. I'm 14.
Provo says 14. Scott says 21. Ronald says I'm going Spurs 1, 2 and 3, but I do wonder if our defence will be sat with Dubravka, though we did miss Pope. Yeah, we did. I'm sure they will do. Just got to get used to it. Wayne says, I'm still seeing 3-1. Will not go against me, bet. Fingers crossed. Thought Son was injured, but keep him at bay today. And Christina, hi to you as well. She says 21 as well.
I'm 14.
There you go.
You got it correct. But good guesses. I just like to put it out there because some people are often amused by my age, so it's interesting to see some good guesses in there. Look, 70.
Yeah. That's Gary. He's a cheeky chap. He is, Gary.
He is for sure.
I mean, you would have been at the game today had you not been under the weather, but
yeah.
I hope you're getting better anyway, and that's.
Thank you. Yeah, I was better than I was on Friday, so slow progress.
Just don't shout at the TV too much this afternoon.
No, exactly. I try. Everton have gone 2-0 up against Chelsea in added time, so that is the win seal for Everton, and that means that Chelsea are 11th. Wow.
Splat says 3-1. Gordon, Isak, and Mickey. Yeah, Mickey likes a goal against Spurs.
Very kind of you.
And Anthony says, very mature lad, well done. Harry is 26 of the guest, says weird. Now, take 12 off that. And Troll's in 14.
Any update on the Lunar Man City game, Tony? Have we got any added time? How much?
It's 6 minutes of added time and there's 2 minutes of it gone already.
Doesn't look
Man City, you've got to throw in. No, I think they're going to lose this game 2-1. Right, guys, we're coming to the end of the show, but it's been great and been fantastic having Harry on as well. Harry, do you want to give your channel a shout out as well? Because do go and give Harry a subscribe and a like on his channel because he does some great content out there.
Firstly, thank you very much for having me on again, Tony. I look forward to coming on when we have the reverse fixture again. And obviously, Tony is on my show, on my channel, Scarfy Spurs, so Monday night, 8 p.m. with Spurs fans as well as we dive deeper and analyse the game. If you want to follow me, you can there, Harry Scarf22, football content creator, YouTuber, advocate for autism, also a football writer for Valve. Occasionally, I get the pleasure of writing for Newcastle. I've wrote for Newcastle 3 or 4 times, so go check me out. If anyone's interested in my articles about Newcastle or wants to contribute towards the article, just drop me a DM via Twitter or tag me. And just go check out my channel as well, Scarfy Spurs Talk, match previews, match reactions, weekly live shows every Monday, 8 p.m. And that is where Tony will be. So tune in to get Tony's verdict on the game after Monday, 8 p.m. So thank you, Tony. Oh, thank you, guys. Big up to the chat as well. Enjoy. Good luck for the rest of the season after today.
Yeah. Gary says the game's often quite in 3-1. A lot of games are like that. Ian says, cheers, Tony and Harry. Cheers, Ian. Thanks, mate. Do enjoy the game, guys. Let's hope it's a great game. And remember, the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white. Let's hope we get the 3 points today.
And make sure to like and subscribe to Tony's channel as well. I've been on the 2nd or 3rd time now coming on here. Always a pleasure. I love interacting with the chat. And Tony is an amazing person as well. So let's get Tony. How close are you to the next subscriber milestone, Tony?
About 47 away from 1100. So
come on,
not too.
Let's get Tony there by Christmas. Let's do it. We can do that.
Yeah.
Come on.
Cheers, trolls. Anthony Ross says, great show again. Well done, both of you. Thank you very much, mate. Awesome, Harry. Thanks for coming on, says Julie.
Thank you, Julie.
Gary, nice to see you, Harry.
Nice
Take care,
to meet you,
matey.
Gary.
Great show, Tony. Cheers, thank you. Alan's continuing the Michael Jackson beat it, Harry. Away the lad, says Ronald. Goodbye and take care.
I have a lot of respect for Newcastle. I've said this before, haven't I, Tony? I like to see them doing well. The atmosphere, the fans are fantastic. We thank you, as you can see in the chat below. Supportive. They get behind each other. I love the togetherness that Eddie House formed amongst the fans as well. It's absolutely fantastic, and it's just great to see. I love it as well when you beat the likes of Arsenal. So keep it coming.
And Miley, 30-yard bullet today.
Who knows? Let's see.
Yeah, absolutely. Who knows? You never know, because it could happen. But anyway, it's bye-bye from me.
And bye-bye from me as well. Thank you very much.
There you go. Thank you. How are you, the lads?
Enjoy the game.